Yeah, complementary football. We knew coming in this game we're going to have to do that. And I thought defense played plenty well enough for us to win this football game. And I go back again to me and offensively. I've got to be way, way, way better. And we've got to execute at a higher level. We've got to stay out of the negative plays. But yeah, we would do some really good stuff and then we'd shoot ourselves in the foot. And we'd do some really good stuff, we'd shoot ourselves in the foot. And that's what's, at least encouraging when you look up those last 3 drives for us on offense there. I mean, you really took hardly any negative plays. When you don't take negative plays, this offense can be great, and that's who we know we can be. And so we just got to eliminate the self-inflicted wounds and negative plays. And when you do that, good things stack on top of each other, like you mentioned, and you can go put the ball in the end zone.
Coach Thomas, Christopher League winners. I know that by design, like you want to get the ball out fast.
Yep.
Some of that's by design. Some of that is from pressure getting to the quarterback.
Yep.
Can you just talk about what kind of difficulties that gives you as a play caller, knowing that the ball has to be out quick regardless?
Yeah, I mean, that if you want to have time to have full field progressions and stuff like that, and take some shots downfield, and if you're feeling like you don't have time to do those things, ball's got to come out. And so that means you're going to be more nickel and diming them and stuff like that. You're going to probably have a little bit less of explosiveness, And early in the game, we threw it over their head a few times, and they just started sprinting out of there, playing bail coverage. And when they play bail coverage, you don't want to bang your head against the wall and just try to keep throwing the ball deep, right? And so now you want to try to nickel and dime and throw hitches and throw some stuff like that, some slants. And again, we did some good stuff. And then we also, again, came out after the turnover, tried to take a shot on them there, and we get a holding penalty. So now you're in 1st and 20, and again, now you're 10 yards behind the sticks, and you got to try to be better there. Those are the things we just got to clean up. But yeah, we're gonna dictate what we do offensively based off what the defense is doing, and if they're gonna play bail coverage, then we're gonna try to nickel and dime them. If they wanna screw those guys down, we're gonna try to take the top off. So again, we just try to do what the defense is giving us there.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I did see Easton Messer and a couple other guys use some chip releases on that.
Yep.
Was that kind of by design as an adjustment to what was happening in the first half?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, just trying to help those tackles out a little bit, with those chip releases and some stuff like that. And you try to use the RPO world and some of that too, where those defensive ends can't feel like they can just pin their ears back and go get you, right? But again, we got to be better early, because whenever you're in a 3-score game in the 4th quarter, they know it's coming. They're begging you to run the football, and they're going to pin their ears back, right? And so that's where we got to get better. I got to get the team in a better situation, to not be down by 3 scores in the 4th quarter.
And obviously there's been some lack of rushing success, I guess we'll call it. How do you go about determining the snap distribution between Caden and Jamari and everybody in the room?
Yeah, we're rotating those guys, trying to find the fresh legs and the hot hand, if you will, and just kind of roll those guys. Again, we couldn't get it going near enough tonight. And then again, you get in the game that we were in, you're going to throw the ball some. So that's where it begins, And we circled back this last week, and we felt like we had a really good run plan coming in. And again, we executed that at a high level at times, and at other times we didn't. So that just goes back to the details again, kind of like we mentioned earlier.
Right, and so the offense had 232 yards, I think, at halftime. Caden was responsible for 212 of that between his legs and passing. Can you just talk about his progression from that tough Week 1 game against Maryland, and how he's kind of become a leader in the offense and kind of proven that he can be like the cornerstone quarterback in a program? Yeah,
I mean, he does everything the right way. He's a great kid. And I still, I'm a firm believer he hasn't scratched the surface yet of how good he can be. We still have a lot of ways to go and a lot of room to improve there, which is always what you want, right? And so, but he's the leader of the team. He's the first guy in, last one to leave type mentality. He's a pro. He takes care of his body. He does all the little things the right way, and he's getting better every week. Again, there's some stuff that him and I will circle back on that we got to clean up before we have Tulsa here in 2 weeks. Which is good to have this bye to clean some of this stuff up, but. I mean, definitely, looking back from that Maryland game, he's definitely going in the right direction.
And you did mention, the bye week. You did mention the bye week get prepared. Is there anything else that you're trying to improve on, or what you're locating, trying to allocate resources to?
Yeah, number one, getting the health back. We're banged up at some positions. We got to get some guys back healthy. That's always first and foremost. And then, we're going to self-scout ourselves, too, and find out, what are we good at, what are we bad at, because it's changed, since since that first bye week. So, we've had to adjust some things, and we've changed who we are, based off who we're playing. And so we got to go back to the drawing board for us and see, what are we good at, how are we attacking people, and again, try to put our guys in the best situation these last 4 games to go get bowl eligible here.
This is the second straight time after quarterback.
Yep.
Last week, how do you evaluate them stepping in that role?
Yeah, I think they did a good job. Ultimately, late there with Zach coming in today, it was more of a take care of Caden type deal. He took some shots tonight, and he's banged up a little bit too himself. And so more of just wanting to make sure he's as healthy as he can possibly be here when we suit back up in 14 days here. So, but again, I thought Zach came in and did a good job. Again, he practiced well throughout the week. He's a vet. He's done this for a really long time, and so he came in, did a good job for us. Again, in Magwood the week before, same thing, stepped in late. Again, did a good job, but we won't be making a change at the quarterback position. That was just based off of trying to keep those guys healthy there towards the end of the game.